The New York Jets took a loss to the Miami Dolphins last night and now are 0-4 on the season. And they have major problems in coaches. Aaron Glenn, first season with the New York Jets. They got to get some stuff together. And then we seen the Cincinnati Bengals take a L to the Denver Broncos. And man, do they need a solution at the quarterback position? Expeditiously in Cincy. Y'all know we gonna talk about it, break it all down, but you gotta hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby, and I'm holding it down on today's daily episode. So if you're tuned in, love talking football, regardless of wherever you a fan at, but love talking football, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, first thing first, those New York Jets, they took that loss to the Miami Dolphins 27-21 last night on a doubleheader on Monday night. I don't necessarily know how I feel about that, but hey, anytime we got football, it's always a good time to tune in, even if sometimes watching said teams, it hurts your eyes. I ain't gonna lie to you, it hurts your eyes. Sometimes it just hurts your eyes. Both of those games hurt my eyes. But me being a fan of the sport, I kind of love it. But then you just watch stuff, you be like, ugh. This is what we got to deal with on a Monday night. Come on now. Come on now. But hey, before we talk about the Jets, I want to go out there and send some thoughts in, some things down to Tyreek Hill, man. He dislocated his knee and tore multiple ligaments in his knee. And yeah, it was a nasty injury. Honestly, this is what comes with the game. And yeah, we hate to see it. I don't wish that type of injury on anybody or any injuries on anybody, even though we do understand that is a part of the game. And you can see a lot of different you can see some gruesome things while being a fan of the NFL and watching football. What's crazy is that my little brother actually broke his ankle last night too in his high school football game. So prayers up to my little brother Aiden as well. But hey, let's talk about these New York Jets, man. Hey, for the New York Jets, now you're 0-4. Where do you go from here? And I think that is just a number of things that when you watch and you look at the New York Jets, you say, hey, man, what the hell is going on? What the hell? What is going on? For starters, the penalties are ridiculous in New York. These guys had a number of 13 penalties, then gave up 101 yards from those penalties. And they struggle mightily on fourth down, going 4 for 9, and really could never find their rhythm. You have a situation to where the quarterback, Justin Fields, goes out there and fumbles the ball. You have another situation to where your running back fumbles the ball in the red zone that takes away 7 potential points for you, and at a minimum 3 points for you if you are the New York Jets. One thing that I'm just saying and just watching, defense is not the defense that I thought they could be this season. I thought the defense maybe not been an elite defense, but I think that the New York Jets could be a lot better than what they are putting on tape. Guys are out of position. They were getting wrecked by the Dolphins' misdirection last night. You see guys make missed tackles. You're not in position. You're doing bonehead stuff. Things just wide open down the field. Guys not being able to make plays on the ball that's right there in the front of their face. Guys not being instinctively good when it comes to making plays on the defensive side of the ball. And that was just not a good performance or something I expected for this defense, who I believe kept them in a lot of games last season and pretty much brought back a lot of the same players, especially when you pay guys like a Sauce Gardner, and then you got off a defensive lineman on there that's highly paid. It was not a good showing for that defense to get work like that. I know that the score is going to say the game was closer than what it actually was, but honestly, I never felt like the Jets had any control on the defensive side of the ball in this game. And then when we talk about the quarterback, we talk about Justin Fields. You know, Justin Fields is a former Chicago Bear, former Pittsburgh Steelers, and I've been rooting for the guy. I understand that now things happen, and I understand he has his flaws, but it was not a good performance. Yes, the stat sheet is going to say 20 or 27, 226 yards with a touchdown, but I don't necessarily think that tells the entire story. Watching Justin Fields yesterday hurt my eyes. I'm not even going to lie to you. Holding on to the ball, offensive line can't provide good enough protection, but this is something that Justin Fields is used to, and I think that he's still showing signs of getting rid of the ball slowly. Yeah, that is just, you can't do it that way, bro. Yeah, at some point, you just got to let it rip. Now, when he started off the season in that game versus Pittsburgh, things was coming out quick. Things was coming out precise. He understood where he had to go. He knew where he had to be. And then ultimately utilized his legs to create plays. Now, yesterday, there was a lot of dink and dunking, which is not necessarily a bad thing depending on what your defense is giving you, but you gotta be able to hold on to the ball. Now, I do know that with that fumble, that was a game-changing play for the New York Jets as well. We looked at that situation, was like, bro, you cannot in this situation go out there and fumble the ball. I've seen a stat, I don't necessarily know if it's 100% correct, but it is out there. Justin Fields, since like 2021, has 46 fumbles, which is the most in the league. That is crazy if to be true. So we got to make sure that we see it and we understand that, hey, Justin Fields, bro, you have to be better. And that's something that we've been saying, NFL fans have been saying for the last few years when it comes to Justin Fields. Hell yeah, you put on a hell of a performance in week 1. But week 2, it was a dud. You was out week 3. And then now week 4, it was another dud, bro. It was another dud. And it's not always good to watch. Yeah, we understand that Justin Fields is a hell of a runner with the football, but then at the same time, we got to look at other things because you are a quarterback, bro. You're a quarterback. You got to be able to deliver the ball, bro. And that's just what it is. I don't necessarily know if it's the pass catchers that the Jets have available to him, but I seen some type of situations to where Justin Fields has one-on-one coverage with Garrett Wilson. And I understand that Garrett Wilson may not be at the top of the league right now in wide receivers, but he's your best weapon. You have to utilize him. And when you have one-on-one, that's Justin Fields, you're a good deep ball thrower. Like if we keeping it a buck, Justin Fields could throw the deep ball pretty damn well. You have to give him an opportunity, especially when your team is trailing in such a way. And then the offensive line, penalty after penalty, holding penalties, and then you got a bunch of dumb stuff. Guys can't pick up blitzes the correct way. You have running backs that's fumbling. So it's just a whole clusterfuck over there for the New York Jets. And they got a lot of things to figure out. Otherwise, you might be owing whatever. You need to go out here and try to figure out a solution so how you can start getting some wins up on your up in the win column. Because right now it ain't getting too easy, bro. It's not getting easy for the New York Jets. Listen to the schedule for the New York Jets upcoming, y'all. They have a game versus Dallas. Then you have Denver. That's 2 weeks. You could be 0-6, bro. Then you got the Carolina Panthers, which is a winnable game. And then the Cincinnati Bengals, who are atrocious right now, in another winnable game. So maybe 2-6. Ugh, that's ugly. You don't want to be 2-6. You don't want to be 2-6. So they got a lot of work to do. A lot of players are coming out and speaking for Aaron Glenn and saying that they still believe in the coach. They still believe in his message. They still believe that he is a capable head coach for them and that he can go out there and help them win games, or they can help him get his first win of his coaching career. But right now, this team looks out of sorts. They look out of sorts. And when Aaron Glenn entered that halftime, he said, we're going to go in, talk about some things, and come out and play our brand of football. Nah, y'all didn't. That's not the brand of football I believe that you want to play, that we seen in that second half. It was still some of the same stuff. It was still the quarterback and Justin Fields not being able to hit his throws. It was still some questionable play calls. It was still penalties. It was still drop passes. It was still missed assignments on defense. The Jets, they need to get their stuff in order. Otherwise, you might be staring down the barrel of, let's see, 0-6. 0-6. before you have a real legit opportunity to go out there and win your first game. That's not good. That's not good. Nobody expected them to come out and be world beaters. Not me. I didn't expect the Jets to be world beaters. I actually had within their own division the Patriots being better than them, but I did not see these guys starting off 0-4. To be honest with you, they should not be 0-4. They actually should be at least 2-2. But hey, this is the NFL. You can make your predictions, but the guys on the field actually are the ones that have to play the games, and they'll be able to make the decisions on what they need to go out there and do or make. But hey, quarterback play has to be better. Running backs have to hold on to the football, and the bonehead penalties they need to tighten up on. They need to tighten up on a lot of things, and it starts with the coach and it starts with the quarterback. So they got to be able to be better in that regard. Now we move on to the next game. We got the Denver Broncos, and they put a whooping on the Cincinnati Bengals, who are absolutely atrocious. I'm sorry. They are absolutely atrocious. The Cincinnati Bengals right now without Joe Burrow look like a team that is lost. Number one, I don't understand what the hell Zach Taylor is calling. I don't understand it. You understand as a football fan that if you play the Denver Broncos right now in 2025, Vance Joseph, the defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos, is going to send pressure. So why on God's green earth do we see so many routes going 10, 15 yards down the field on first down? Like, I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. And then the Cincinnati Bengals, you're trying to run play action, but you're not fooling anybody because you didn't stick to the run enough. You're not fooling anybody. And then there are some occasions to where we look at Jake Browning and we look at him and we say, hey, bro, throw the ball. But guess what? It's two things that could be true. Number one, the play calling needs to be good to where guys can get open and he can make a throw. But then on the other side, when things do become available, you have to make the throw, Jake. So this brings me to me saying the Cincinnati Bengals have to find a solution at quarterback right now, and that solution is Kirk Cousins. I understand that he don't know your system. I understand that he's not familiar with what the play calls is going to be, but at least we know Kirk Cousins will give you a better fighting chance than Jake Browning right now. That's all we know. I understand the last time we seen Kirk Cousins in Atlanta, he didn't look too good. But one thing I do know, now that he is a lot more healthier than what he was last season, maybe going to the Cincinnati Bengals with having this number of weapons in T. Higgins and in Gesicki and Jamar Chase and the other tight end that they had over there with the Brown in the backfield, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That's something that Kirk Cousins can work with. Is it going to be perfect? Absolutely not. It's not going to be perfect. That's just what it is. It's not going to be perfect. But what you can do is give yourself a fighting chance so when Joe Burrow does return, maybe you're not so far off from a playoff appearance. And now you have a healthy Joe Burrow that can come in and do what he is normally good at doing. And then you can give yourself a fighting chance because all you got to do is make it into the tournament. Because we know once you make it into the tournament, you give yourself a fighting chance to compete. Because on any different Saturday or Sunday, when the playoff games are being played, you have an opportunity. You have a chance to win. So last night, Jake Browning, 14 of 25, 125 yards, sacked 3 times. And I get it. It's a young player right here. But he been around the block. He been here before. And I understand that the Cincinnati Bengals want to lean on, well, he won games for us in the past. Maybe he can help us win games this time around. It looked like the man is reluctant to throw the damn ball. That's just how it looks to be. He's standing there. He waiting. Sometimes it's not there. Sometimes he has to throw it away. But my God, with Jamar Chase, with T. Higgins, you only scored 3 points. You only scored 3 points. And the crazy thing is, he was on a dink and dunk course too. My man's Jamar Chase had 5 receptions for 23 yards. In what world, y'all? This world, 2025. We got to be better, bro. We got to be better. And then penalties after penalties after penalties throughout the entire game for both teams. It was just ugly. I told y'all yesterday was ugly. It was ugly. But for the Cincinnati Bengals specifically, 11 penalties. Some of them was questionable. I'll give you that. But yesterday, last night, they didn't look like they was ready to play. The defense tried to keep them in the game, but it's only so much the defense can do when the offense can't sustain a drive. I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't even remember them running a play in their own red zone. That's just me. I don't remember. I don't remember the Cincinnati Bengals running a play in their own red zone. That's why I think it's imperative for the Cincinnati Bengals to call Atlanta and say, hey, what does it cost for Kirk Cousins? Hell, call the Giants and get Jameis Winston in here. I don't give a damn. I just know that Jake Browning, he ain't the solution right now, bro. And I know Jameis Winston has his flaws, but at least he gonna throw that mud and give you a fighting chance. Jake Browning looked like he's reluctant to throw the ball. He's worried about too much pressure. And I understand that could be a deterrent factor to why a quarterback will not throw the ball. They start seeing ghosts. They get a little frantic, trying to worry about the pass rush. So that comes into part and play when the OC has to understand what he's working with. You don't have the best offensive line in here. You don't. You don't have the best offensive line. So to call things extremely deep down the field, and sometimes the wide receivers are in the same damn area, and I don't understand what the concepts are. That's just me. Somebody maybe could break it down a little bit better for me. But they need to be better with the play call. They need to be better with Jake Browning getting the ball out of his hands. You got to let it go. You got to let it rip. That's the same. That's the theme of the day. Let it rip. That's the theme of the day. Let it rip. But I think that Kirk Cousins will be the perfect solution for the Cincinnati Bengals right now. Now, is Atlanta going to be a willing participant? I don't know. A lot of us believe that the seat of Zach Taylor is heating up. Okay, we understand that. But this Cincinnati Bengals team with Jake Browning, bro, they might be on a crash course to not winning nothing. I'm not even going to lie to you. They started off the season pretty well, lost their last 2 games in the last 2 weeks, and they face on Sunday the Detroit Lions. We could probably just chalk that up to a loss too. But anything happens in the NFL, not even going to hold you. I seen crazier shit. But next week you have Detroit, and then you got Green Bay, and then you got Pittsburgh. Y'all could very well be 5-2. I mean 2-5. By the time that 3-game stretch is over. I'm just saying, you're 2-2 right now. You take 3 straight losses, you'll be 2-5. Do you want to salvage this season? If the Cincinnati Bengals want to salvage this season, you have to call Atlanta for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins will be a better option, maybe not the perfect option for the Cincinnati Bengals, but a better option than Jake Browning. Hey, I seen everything I need to see out of the 2 games from Jake Browning. He ain't changing. He ain't changing. You put up 10 points last week versus Minnesota Vikings and 3 points this week. It ain't good enough. It ain't good enough. So, Cincy, get on the phone with Atlanta. Get Kirk Cousins in here now. Allow Jake Browning to start Sunday. Get Kirk Cousins prepared to play the following Sunday versus the Green Bay Packers, and you might be able to salvage something around here. If not, you about to get dog walk this Sunday and then cat walk the following Sunday and probably whatever walk the following Sunday versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Y'all got to call it. Call it, because you still got a chance within this division because the Ravens don't look like themselves. The Pittsburgh Steelers is holding on and doing what they doing. And the Cleveland Browns, good defense. We'll see what they do with the quarterback. But, hey, that is it for me today, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of NFL Central. Before y'all get up out of here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well, man. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you always love football, and y'all already know. We're going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace out, y'all.
This has been a presentation